5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
Welcome on in. Welcome to the 411 podcast. It's Spiritual Sunday today, and we have a very special show tonight. First of all, I just want to say we're live, live, ready to go. This has been a long time coming, and we have a great show tonight. We have special guests, Miss Queen Dawn Spirit, coming in tonight, friend of the show, family, so gonna have a great time catching up with her. But before we get into this, I want to say a very special thank you to my executive producer. I want to thank God for giving me another opportunity to come out here and give you the 411 podcast. I also want to thank each and every one of you out there listening, people who are coming through, checking this replay. Thank you so much for rocking with me for all of these years. It's been 5 years and we're still growing strong, and we have so many new things coming. And of course, again, I most certainly could not do this without the love and support from the Black Diamond community. If you have any questions for me tonight or my special guests, please drop it in the comments, and we will have a Q&A section towards the end. And again, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag this video, text your friends, invite them in, because you never know what type of breakthrough moments you can get, when you come through here tonight. All right. So, Spiritual Sunday. This is part of the mentorship series. So if you would like more information as far as how you can have a seat at the table so you can discuss some of these awesome topics with me, please DM me. You can text me 609-200-1098. Again, that number is 609-200-1098. You also can email me as well, info@larengaines.com. If there's anything that sparked your interest tonight and you want to learn more information, please do not hesitate to reach out. Sunday, September 28th. This month is almost out of here. It's amazing how time is flowing on and on and on and on, but we're here. I'm happy. I'm excited. It's going to be some great conversation tonight. Also, I want to give a very special thank you to the guests who will be joining me this week. Same place, same time, 8 p.m. You can check me out on all week at 8 p.m. We have SOS coming in the building this week. My friend, Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. Tonight, Queen Dawn Spirit. Tomorrow, we have Neil Jones Jr. We have author Melvin. Hopefully, I'm getting the last name right. Parapali coming in. My friend, my brother, joins me every week for Reading Between the Wines. Author/poet Birdman 313. I want to give a very special thank you to Jonathan Martin Ives, Maddie Lee Mars, Ian West, and of course, a very special thank you to my niece, Okita. I had a great time at the winery with you today. Thank you so much for supporting Reading Between the Wines and 411 Podcast. All right, so this is the moment that I love, getting into the song of the day. So I remix it a little bit. I love my music, but now I've learned how to basically read music. It was listening to the music in the beginning that got me here. But now that I'm here, I feel that it is my duty to make sure that I read correctly so that I can get this information to anybody who's listening. So, song of the day tonight is I Look to You by Whitney Houston, released in 2009 off of her album I Look to You. Tonight is about restoration, and I marked this year, 2025, as a year of restoration for me. I realized that I had to clean up a lot of things in my life, and I'm doing just that. And I encourage each and every one of you to look into your lives and look and see what you can possibly clean up. Coco Jones has a song called Sweep It Up. And that's exactly what I had to do. I had to sweep up and clean up a lot of things in my life because I was just coming from a place where I needed to clean things up. Put it that way. For those of you who have been rocking with me for a minute, you understand and know that this has been an evolution, that this has been a transition. And I just wanted to press that gas a little bit more and challenge myself. Although it may have appeared that, I was doing things, I might have been at the top of the game at the moment, how we do, how we talk sometimes. I just want everyone to know that I am just a work in progress. I want to thank you all for continuing to show up and give me another opportunity to prove to myself and to you that I can continue to do great things with the love and support that I get from each and every one of you out there. I'm not going to lie to y'all, it has not been easy, even up to minutes before I even press play here. There's always obstacles and challenges and things that I have to climb over and overcome. Through all of this, I had no idea when I started in 2020, but now I'm a financial coach and I teach financial literacy and through the lenses of spiritual, mental, physical, and financial wellness. Now, tonight, with my special guest, we're going to focus on the spiritual realm. And I encourage all of you to look into whatever serves you, look into your higher power. Now, I always have to remember to make sure that I practice what I teach. And that alone is never easy because I am human, I am a man, and I'm not perfect. But thank you all for allowing me this space in your hearts and your homes and your minds as we look toward our inner strength. Because remember, everything starts with self. Thank you, God, for making me free. And thank you, God, for giving me another opportunity to do this thing again here. This is 5 years in the making. This 5 restoration, part 2, live, featuring Queen Dawn Spirit, episode 52, The Cost of Peace. Welcome on in to Spiritual Sunday. And I'm going to bring up my special guest, Miss Queen Dawn Spirit.
Greetings, greetings. Thank you for
Hey.
sharing.
Well,
Welcome on in. I know it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
Everybody's looking beautiful tonight. Thank you all for coming on in.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
So,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I apologize. I don't want to.
I was just going to say, so what's been going on since the last time you've been here? How's it
Yeah.
been?
So, we started a new company, which is a birth from Queen Dawn Spirit. As you know, Queen Dawn Spirit has been it started in 2017. I'm so thankful and grateful. So I said that I wanted to expand Queen Dawn Spirit, and I asked my business partner Marcus, would he like to become business partners and do Ascenda, because I felt that we needed that masculine energy as well. So we decided to become partners, and this is Marcus Johnson, and he's my co-owner of Ascenda. So Queen Dawn Spirit is still alive. It's not going. Queen Dawn Spirit is not going anywhere. But I wanted my community and people to know the masculine side too, other than the feminine side. So I'll introduce Marcus to you real briefly. He's going to tell you how we got started and so forth, and about what he does.
Greetings and peace and blessings to everyone listening on the podcast this evening. My name is Marcus Johnson. I met Dawn in December of last year, and we started talking about spirituality, and she shared with me what she does, and I became interested. I became intrigued, and now my spiritual background, I grew up in the Baptist church, and I've always considered myself more spiritual as opposed to overly religious. But Dawn and I, we collaborated, and we decided to expand on what she's already built with Queen Dawn Spirit, and create a sender from that. And we've been in operation since I would say April, May of this year, and we've done quite a bit in that amount of time, and we're looking to continue to go forward in our journey to really heal and heal and transform as many lives as we can into the realm of positivity. So that's so I'm very thankful to be on this path and on this journey.
Yes.
That sounds awesome. I like the fact that you represented your background. You said you were more in the spiritual realm versus religious, which there definitely is a two. So there definitely is a difference. So
yes, it is. Because from what I've seen throughout my life, I'm very open when it comes to people's beliefs and religions and things. To me, as long as it's something in the realm of positivity. And one of the things I've noticed that when people are, say, overtly religious or so, they can tend to be rather judgmental, they can criticize and things of that nature. But the way I see it is that if you have a strong spiritual base, to kind of serve as a foundation to your morals and beliefs and your values, then I think that's a better path going forward than to be say that, oh, if you don't do what this says, then this is going to happen, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. And for anybody out there listening, I will say that is one of the biggest challenges when people are waking. Am I saying that right? Waking up, getting them mixed up and confused and feeling that, well, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, then, so to speak, all hell's going to break loose. Sure. And sometimes we can be stuck in these patterns of,
And the reason also that because I could have had other partners in the past, but the reason why I really connected with Marcus is because his background, he's a software engineer and he's also a photographer. So and he knew I started Queen Dawn Spirit with my brand ambassador, but he knew all the outside, the nuts and the bolts of how to put it all together. And I needed someone that was going to be just as dedicated as I am to help us, help heal people. And the wonderful thing that I loved about when I asked him about it, he said, Dawn, this is amazing because we can help so many people. We can help heal so many people. So that was that was amazing that he said that to me, because there's so many people that are scared, especially our people of spirituality, where it's not, and it's been considered demonic, and it's not. It's, tapping into your inner self, what God made us to be. So when he said all the right words and everything to make us come together, and he did, we moved so fast. We had the conversation with him in March, and then we were up and running like April, May, and then we did a retreat in Waldorf, and we did a 2.5-day retreat that was on. If you look at my page on Queen Dawn Spirit or Ascender, our website Ascender is ASCENDERE-LLC.com or queendawnspirit.com, and you'll see photos and videos of the retreat. And it was absolutely amazing, and was so healing. I did past life regression. Marcus is also a breathwork practitioner as well, and he's also a Reiki practitioner. So I'm his Reiki master. So he's like, I'm all in. Let's get this. Let's do this. Let's see what we can do. And he's also a mentor for many young people. 100 Black men of PG County. So he's a great person. He's a great mentor for so many. So I felt it would be great to connect with him and help me live my dream that I wanted to do, because I love helping people. I love connecting with people. I love seeing people happy. So Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll be reaching out about that breath work because I can obviously focus on that. That's very important. That's an
Oh
important
no, that
piece
I will,
because
I will gladly, have engage in a session with you when the time is right. So all you gotta do is just hit me up.
absolutely. All right, so let's get into this restoration tonight. Now, when you think about the word restoration, what does it mean to you from the spiritual realm?
Release, release, and let go. Release and let go of fear. Release and let go of doubt. Release and let go of all lower vibrations. Every morning when I
Mm,
wake up, I take out the time at my birth time. So I'm born July 25th. So at 7:25 a.m., I take out the time to write affirmations. And one of my main affirmations is I accept, I deserve, I allow, and I demand, and I command myself to release all fears and doubts forever with total ease and no harm to none. And I write that 9 times because your first hour you wake up is your manifesting hour and the last hour before you go to bed. So if you don't have time to do it in the morning, do it at night before you go to bed. So, it restorates because everything that we focus on now from the past is just memories that we're holding on to that stagnates us. So how are you going to continue to look in the rearview mirror? If you continue to look through the rearview mirror and not out the windshield, you're going to crash because you're always looking back. So you're going to and you're going to crash and you're going to be stagnant, right? So you got to release and let go because you can't change it. What you focusing on it for? You can focus on the here and the now. The current is a present, a gift, right? The present is a gift, right? Like I give you a present for Christmas
absolutely.
time. Why you gotta wait for Christmas time to get your present or get your gift? Right now is the moment.
Mm, mm.
What do you think, Marcus?
Well, I think
From a masculine?
well, I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, you and I are thinking like on the same level. Like, you say release. I think more along longer terms of just plain old decompression. Like, when you're going through things and you want to, restore. I think decompression and release, and then just being able to be in a space where you can recenter yourself, so where you can say that, okay, I've gone through this, and it's and trust. I mean, it's easy. It's easier said than done, but I mean, it's one of those things that it takes a lot of like, practice, and then just and then being able to really truly trust yourself to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going through this. I need to take a step back. I need to just chill, recenter, and then be able to rebalance myself so where I could be able to go on either from today and going into the next day and beyond, and not let all of this baggage just, from before to weigh you down. Because if you let that continue to build and you don't take the time to really, think about, restoring yourself or restoring your spiritual nature, then it's gonna, I mean, it's gonna weigh you down over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Both had some great valid points. And what I think of is, and I know you said easier said than done. I look at my life situation. Like I said, even just today, as I've gone through things, why do you think we tell ourselves that we want better, we're going to do better, but then we end up slipping back into looking in that rearview mirror
Distract.
instead of looking, maybe like day one or day two, we're focused, we're on it. We say our affirmations, we write in our journal, we go through the practices of manifestation, the first hour, the last hour, and then somewhere along the line, we just regress and go backwards.
Distractions.
Yeah.
Distractions. The universe tests us all the time. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, God says, ask and you shall receive. The energy you put out is the energy you get back. So remember, today is a residual from yesterday. So and sometimes the old you, when you're about, so I teach this to my clients. We live on over 100 parallel universes and timelines. And sometimes as we're elevating to the next timeline or parallel universe, the old energy from the past will come back and say, hey, remember me? Are you sure you're ready to raise up? And you'd be like, oh, this is a comfort zone for me. Even though it's heartache or break and lower vibration, we say, I'm scared because what if I fail if I get up there? I'm comfortable here because this is familiar for me. And that's the challenge that we are afraid to elevate because we're fearful of fearful of releasing, restoring, and letting go. Because if we get up there, what if we fail? And we got to stop worrying about wearing the coat or the hat of what the F people think of us.
I know that's right. You know, this year has been a challenge. I think this year I have been challenged more. I want to say more because maybe now I'm more in tune to it, and I'm hip to the game a little bit, and I tell myself that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And that right there has helped me so much this year because, like you said, I would get a little nervous and back up and say, okay, this is more familiar. Even though I got to walk through that door, it's going to be very challenging. But if it's fear, if it's doubt, if it's anger, if it's anxiety, if it's anything that reminds me of anything from the past, that's not from my higher power. So, and I don't sign up for anything else except for what he wants me to do. So I just flow with that. But
did you want to say anything, Marcus?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, distractions, and then your other point that you led into was literally fear, that was the first thing that popped in my mind when the question was asked. And so that's it's one of those things where like it's like it's a matter of just ultimately being like having the courage to really to take those steps, because it's one thing when that, say you have your affirmations, your journaling, and you say what you do. It's almost like when you write a plan out, it's like you write the plan out or so, and what you have to do, but it's a matter of executing it and and living and going about it. And that's where that's where you really take the steps to confront fear in the face, and then just say like, look, I have the courage. I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna take these steps and overcome this in spite of like my reservations, whether it be distractions or anything like that. So so Dawn, you pretty much hit the nail on the head earlier with your points. And fear is probably like the biggest thing that can really hold anyone back if they want to truly go through the path of restoring themselves.
Now I know, of course, Queen, you have some tips for us, for anyone who might be doing that delicate dance where one day they're on track, 2 days later they fall off. What type of advice would you give for someone who's experiencing something like that?
Breath work. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of breath work would seem like 1 minute. You don't have to go in for a half an hour or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. 5 minutes of breath work. And we're going to actually do a 5-minute breath work on our video on our website, where you guys can tap in or go through YouTube. So if you guys don't see it when you're ready, inbox me on queendonspirit.com or ascender-llc.com. And we'll do one we're going to do some workshops on breath work. But the first thing I do in the morning, and it's discipline, but it should be everyday hygiene, just like brushing your teeth. So the first thing I do in the morning, because everything you see around us is 99.9% space, right? So you create all your experiences outside of you, believe it or not. Everything comes from inside. So first thing I do before my feet hit the floor, I draw my Reiki symbols on the floor. For those that are not Reiki practitioners, you can draw your initials and what you want to manifest for that day on the floor, right? Do the love signs. You can do the God cross, whatever resonates, whatever symbols or things that come to your mind, you draw that on the floor before your feet hit that floor and step into that day, right? Then I go to the mirror and I look in the mirror and I tell myself I love you 10 times. And then I say thank you 9 to 10 times. I mean, I look myself in the face. Your hair could be all over your head. You can have jewel on the side of your face. It don't matter. Because ain't nobody
You know
but you, right? And then I that's what I do, right? Speaking to your water. Water manifests. And that's the first thing you should drink in the morning is a bottle of water. Speak into your bottle of water and visualize what you want to manifest. Because you're in that manifesting hour. Journaling. Writing your name 7 times within that hour. Everyone should have an hour to themselves when they first wake up. Don't answer your phone. Don't go on the internet or any social media. That first hour is your love hour, self-love. And sometimes you may not be able to do it, but you got set your alarm on your phone. You know what I'm saying? What do you do, Marcus?
Well, I actually do something that I do during the day, and that's simply meditate. Mm-hmm. Like, I know, just being able to, I agree with you, being able to get up in the morning and being able to take care of yourself, like, first and foremost, because you only have one body. I mean, you got to perform as much self-love on yourself as possible. But I think that being able to take the time out for yourself when you can during the day to be able just to relax, meditate, just kind of chill for a little bit, that's important, especially if you have really kind of like a hustle and bustle kind of thing where you're just constantly moving and moving and moving. Sometimes, like, when you have like the chance, it doesn't have to be like a long period of time. I mean, it could just be like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or just time to just sit and just kind of just relax. I mean, throw some breath work in there if possible, or whatever you do where you could be able to sit and just think and then just allow yourself to, kind of decompress your mind some. And then after that brief time period is up, then you'll be able to go right back out there and pretty much do what you need to do.
Another quick thing is that, so today we went to a spiritual event, a wellness holistic event today, Pathways. And so Marcus had planned out the day for us to do some things today for Ascender and the business and stuff like that. So we decided to go to a place, was a level 99.
Yes.
And my phone alarm was going off. And level 99 is like, it's like a David Buster on steroids. It's an adult amusement center, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. That it's like it's a more physical David Buster's. Well, David Buster's has like more of your standard kind of arcade games. Like level 99 has actual physical like
games, like 40
obstacles to go
like
through.
40
so
it's obstacles to keep the mind active, right?
And body.
Right. So while we're sitting waiting to go in, we decided to grab a quick bite to eat because we had been running all day. And my phone alarm went off. And I didn't answer, but I knew why it was going off. Because I have sequential hours set up on my phone as a reminder. A reminder to stop and to say, thank you. Thank you.
That's important.
Thank you, God. Thank you for this experience. Thank you for who I am. Thank you. You ain't even got to go into a deep prayer. You could just set your alarm for your birthday time. So mine's 7:25, for 11:11, 111, 222,
639,
639, Nikola Tesla formula, 936, like 333, 444, 555. Right. So you set the. I have my phone be going. It's people like, why the hell is your phone going? I said, be quiet. And this mofo is going to go off all the time. So every time it goes off, and I turn it on, and so there was 2 couples. There was one near us, and there was another couple further away, and they were like, "Is that your phone going off?" She's like, "It ain't my phone." I say, "It's my phone." My phone, and I'm doing an affirmation right now. And they're just like, "Oh, it's a sequential hour." And they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that." Instead of beginning the attitude like, "What they worried about?" No, sharing is caring.
Right.
So that time when my phone goes off is a reminder to take out time, that 1 minute, half a minute, few seconds, just to say thank you. thank you, 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 thank you. You can say it 9 times or 10 times, or I love you, or I'm grateful, or I'm thankful. It's just a quick prayer, and then go on with the rest of your day and keep it moving. That's another form of meditation.
That gratitude definitely helps you vibrate on a higher frequency.
Yes,
So
yes,
always.
Good information. Thank you all so much for that. I'm taking some mental notes. I should have had my pen and pad, but
well, you recorded
it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this replay.
Yes.
Sometimes I forget that I have it recorded.
So thankful for you.
So I want to talk. Thank you. I'm so thankful for y'all to be on as well. I want to talk about having it's great. It's important to have a good spiritual foundation. So how is having specific spiritual practices, how do they help people restore, rebuild after they've gone through some sort of financial, some sort of emotional, or physical setback? So hopefully I worded that for you properly. So maybe
no, you said it perfectly. Everything is energy.
Okay.
Everything is energy.
Everything.
Money's energy. If you don't treat it right, it ain't gonna treat you right. You gotta say money is my stalker. Money loves me. We're always taught money don't grow on trees. You know, all the negative things that our parents were taught to keep us detached from manifesting. But if you know, if your bank account got 94 cents in your account, look at that 94 cents like it's 94,000 or $94 million, because you got a little more than somebody may not have. Some people don't even have a bank account, right? So one of my affirmations that I say is, I accept, I deserve, I allow, and I command and demand that I always have more than I want and I need. I accept, I deserve, I allow myself to have unlimited financial wealth and unlimited financial freedom with total ease and with no harm to none. So whenever you're saying a prayer, make sure that you say that, you be very descriptive and say with total ease and no harm to none, because it's going to come to you. Because remember, this tongue in your mouth is the most powerful muscle in your whole body, and it speaks vibrations. So God, the universe is going to ask and you shall receive. So make sure you say with no harm to none whenever you say a prayer. So, and just like your devices we're speaking on, we give value to them, right? It's considered money, correct? Jewelry we wear, we add a value to it. Do you know that cowrie shells, a lot of people don't know, cowrie shells was exchanged as money before coins were invented, right? Yes.
I didn't know that.
So if you give something a value, that's what makes it a value. Remember, the mind is a very powerful thing.
I know that's right.
And then,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, okay. So I'm glad you mentioned the mind, because I was about to break down the 3 parts of a human. 3 parts of a human are mind, body, and spirit. Spirit is the ultimate foundation. Spirit, your soul, like, you know, as Dawn said and alluded to, you know, what you put into the universe is what you get back in return. And the thing about that is, a lot of people need to be more cognizant and aware is that, you know, you really have to be careful how you go about navigating. Like, you know, you really have to. We're in a day and age where a lot of people can look at somebody else and be like, "Wow, I wish I had what they had," or they end up putting themselves on lower vibrations just because they see something someone else has and something that they don't. But, you know, but the main thing is that, you know, in an ideal world, if everyone, regardless of how much wealth you have or what your status is or anything of the like, if you can look at what you have and the people, not only what you have in possessions, the people that are around you, whether it be your friends or your family, anyone that you consider to be loved ones, and appreciate that, then all of these things will help your spirit, like, you know, be able to manifest the things, or those things are going to come to you, because the universe always pays you back. Matter of fact, Dawn and I was just having a conversation about that very same thing earlier, where we were talking about how, like, sometimes you can say you lend some money out to someone and they don't pay you back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And so my thing is that when I give someone money, regardless of the amount, I give with the expectation that I'll never get it back. Because
Absolutely.
because the way I see it is that I'm helping somebody else out, and they're in a time of need or this, that, and the other, and I'm thinking that should I really be at like a loan shark in the mafia movies or whatever and try to get my money back, or should I just stay back and chill and being like, you know what, universe, pay me back? You know, I mean, it may not be today, it may not be the next day. I mean, it could come in an abundance from all different angles, because that's how cool the universe is. I mean, when you put the right energy into it.
Yeah, you let it hold you as a prisoner. You know, they make us think that money is. That's why I don't watch news. And I don't watch the news. And he be like, why you watching? He be talking trash. I was like, listen, I know you'll cue me in. I know you'll let me know what's up if anything of urgency. But I don't watch the news because they're constantly throwing stuff at us. Constantly.
Absolutely.
And to keep us feeling that we're less than and we can't. And wealth is health. Mental, physical health. That's what wealth is. And so you have a poverty mind thinking, you're going to be poverty stricken. So whatever you have or whatever you don't have, just be thankful and grateful for what you do have. And the more you're thankful and grateful for what you do have, it will continue to multiply, and just be so happy and so high on life that it's contagious. That when you walk in the room, you set the whole room off. When you walk in, they be like, who is this person?
I know that's right. So many good things, and I want to try to make sure that I can recap a lot of them. Maybe not hit all of them, but the health is wealth. That's important. The mindset. A lot of times we have issues when it comes to money because of the mental aspect of it. How we think and how we feel about money is an issue. And for me, I had to change my mindset. And anybody out there listening, trust and believe that it is possible. All of the things that Queen Dawn Spirit said that we grew up with, money doesn't grow on trees. They used to tell me, boy, as soon as you get that money is burning a hole in your pocket. And it was at that moment, because that's basically what was taught. Remember, more is caught than more is taught. I didn't need to learn how to handle my money, whether it was incorrect or not.
Right.
I basically just had to look at the examples that I had laid before me. And Queen, there's one person that, we were friends with that, we're no longer friends with. And I know you know who I'm talking about. And that's okay, because that individual came into my life to tell me on a platform such as this, Laren, you're not good with money. And I had to sit back and think about it and said, well, you know what? She was right. And I got myself together after going through some trials, and I figured it out now. So, but more is caught than more is taught. The mental aspect of it is very important. And if you know that you're not good with money, the first step is recognizing it.
You can't even say that anymore. You can't say that anymore. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why. So a lot of us don't know this. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all listen really clear. And I did a video on my TikTok and my YouTube about this, and my Instagram. We were in the dark ages for 23,000 plus years prior to January of 2024. Dark ages. That's why we were going through so much drama, so much killing, all that crazy stuff that was going on. On January 27th of 2024, we awakened we left the Kali Yuga, and went into the golden age of Aquarius, which is now. So it's easier to manifest what you want so much faster, even what you don't want. So it doesn't take long to manifest anymore like it used to. So we have to be very, very, very careful what we say and what we think and what we speak. You ever heard of Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham teachings called the 60?
I believe so.
Okay. So 69 seconds. So whatever you focus on,
Oh, yes.
it's like a momentum, it's like a snowball. So the more you give that's why I said your first hour is your manifest now, because you're in that theta wave state of mind. When you first wake up, so you're still you don't have any resistance during that first hour because you're still trying to wake up. Is where you're learning. Just like it's the first 7 years of a child's life. That first hour, you have that chance to go back to heal that child. When I do my affirmations, when I take out time and I sit in front of my altar and I do my affirmations, I pull up a picture of me as a child, and I talk to that child. And I write my affirmations as I'm talking to that child. Because everything we're going through right now comes from that child the first 7 years that needed to be helped, to be loved, that was trying to figure it all out. Because that's when we're human sponges, those first 7 years. But you get a chance to heal that child the first hour before you wake up or the last hour before you go to sleep.
That's very powerful. Thank you for putting it that way, because now that gives me a different perspective as well.
Yeah, because I actually have I share a similar perspective with you in terms of like, you know, when a problem is like, you know, like recognized and also within you, and then you being able to be aware of it, or so that's the only way. I mean, this is just me speaking from my experiences. That's the only way that you can really confront it. Like if something. If you're like, say for instance, like, you know, as you were talking about the financial issue, and then, you know, or financial, like, or ways of like handling money, and then it took someone to come and say that, hey, you know, you're not doing this, and then that just allowed you to reflect inwards, like, wow, I'm not doing this, and so I need to do what I need to do in order to to go through and fix it. And that brings up another point too. It's like some people, like whether they're in your life or whether they're not in your life, I mean, sometimes like the best types of people are the ones that can just hit you with that realness, and that they're not the types that tell you what you want to hear. They're like, look, like say, you know, if you're an alcoholic, if you may be going through the motions doing your thing or whatever, and then it takes somebody to like pull you aside and they look, this is a problem, you know, you fix, you know, just and then hopefully that allows you to reflect inside and be like, hey, this is a problem that I'm having, and go on from there.
And then sometimes people speak things to you they're currently going through, and they're screaming for help.
Yeah, that's a good aspect of it too. I love the part, and this is backing up, I just didn't want to forget this. The power of the tongue. You spoke about that's the most powerful muscle. Life and death comes from the tongue. And a lot of times we say things that we don't realize.
I can't afford that.
And
I can't do this. I can't. No.
Don't say I can't.
You just put a curse on yourself. You just put a spell on yourself.
Don't say I can't. I mean, those two words should never come out of your mouth, ever.
I take the word I try out too, because absolutely not. Either you're going to do it or you're not doing it. And the try part.
But everything should be an opportunity to help you raise up. So what can I do? How can I make this an opportunity to take me to my highest timeline or a better timeline?
Yeah, even like even I think I'm taking this back to the movies. Empire Strikes Back. Yoda said it himself: "Do or do not. There is no try." And then it's like that's literally like, look, do it or you don't. I mean, you know, it's like even though we all go through, we attempt things and all that, but if there's something that you really, really want, like say, you know, just if you're gonna go through with it, you know, just do whatever it is in your power to make sure you go through with what it is that you're doing, like especially like if it's something that you have as an affirmation, because the affirmations are just
Amazing.
Just amazing.
But you know what? One thing I do, another manifestation tip is take your bank account. If you have mobile app, have a mobile app, was a mobile banking, and you screenshot your bank accounts, right? And you copy and paste it onto Canva, and then you write out what the dollar amounts are in your bank accounts, and then overlay it with the amounts that you want to go into your bank accounts, and save it as a screensaver.
Oh, absolutely. The visualization aspect of
right.
it.
Or take a picture, and even better, take a picture of it, print it out, and put it in the vision box. Or a moon jar, place it under the sun. Like, there's so many ways that if you would tell somebody, like, it ain't crazy, but no, we create our own experiences. It's just like baking a cake or making a meal. Do you say, well, if I put these ingredients, if I put this spice in it, is it going to taste crazy? No, try it. And then
Here's the thing.
It's like you're creating. You are a creator. You're not God the creator, but you are a creator. Tap into your inner God, what he made, or goddess.
Here's the thing that I say to myself. I create this. This is my show. This is my movie. Better off creating or letting somebody else create it for you. Now, which one would you rather want?
Exactly.
Yes.
I spent so many years letting somebody else do the work. Now I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna create. And this is my movie. This is my show. This is my life. I'm taking control of it today. I ain't signing up for nobody else's thing. If anything, you can sign up to come on over here, but I ain't signing up to go.
I have two things to say to that. Like, we control our own destiny, and our slogan for Ascender is manifest your best timeline. And we tell everyone that we come involved with to take those words to heart, because that's literally what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Like, there's something that there's a goal you want to reach, or something you want to do. You're manifesting your best timeline, and you're controlling your own destiny. And that's just that's something that if more people like had that mindset or that thought process, there's so many. I mean, the sky's the limit to what anyone can accomplish. I mean, and I'm really glad you brought up the point where, like you said, like, look, I have my TV show, I have this, and I have that. Let's see, I can either create this and do this exactly how I want to, or as you said, someone else could do that for you.
And you'll get little messages from people, or people will say certain things to remind you, because we all know this stuff that I'm saying to you, we just forget. So we're reminders of how to manifest. Like, exactly. I remember, like, when somebody says something you don't like or you're not feeling, you say, not on my timeline, not on this timeline, not on my timeline. I'm a timeline. Okay, universe, I demand you to raise me up to my best timeline, but I demand it. If you have a problem in your mind before you go to sleep, universe, God, I demand and I command that you bring me a resolution to this when I wake up in the morning, raising me up to my best timeline and better. Or when you open up, when you wake up, thank you, God, universe, for waking me up so that I'll experience my best timeline and better today, every day, all day, with total ease, no harm to none. I remember when I went to Atlanta, there was a Super Bowl, and I went to the Super Bowl with a friend, and Blue Pill, I don't know if you heard of Blue Pill, Red Pill, they're in the conscious community. So they had a Super Bowl party in Atlanta, and I'm an Eagles fan. So, but I'm like I'm not diehard in football, but I rep the Eagles. So when they were playing and everybody was going off, they had a DJ. It was a big party, and I was just like, I kept saying, not on my timeline. Every time they try to make a scroll, like, not on my timeline. My best timeline, the better. My best timeline, the better. I kept hollering it, and the Eagles won on my timeline. But then Red Pill said to me, yeah, the Eagles won on your timeline, on this timeline, but on another timeline, they lost. It was scientifically proven. We live on over 100 parallel universes and timelines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was listening to
tapped into my timeline. I ain't get all that yin yang and everything everyone else was saying. I was not feeding into that. I knew in my timeline that we were going to win that game. And I know in my timeline every day I'm going to win. No matter what is thrown at me, it's always going to work out to my best advantage. And every day, all day is an opportunity, no matter how stressful it may seem. And that's when you stop and you think and you breathe and you take a little drink of water and do some breath work for 5 minutes to bring yourself to that timeline to release that anxiety and depression. I used to have a phobia of bridge. I still have a little phobia of bridges, but certain exits. So you know when you get older, you get more like when you were younger, you do stupid stuff. Like you're invincible, you take risks, but when you get older, you get a little more fearful. So I used to have this happened to be recently, and since I started doing my breath work, I was going to take this exit, and this normal exit usually gives me anxiety. And like this exit is so high, it looks like it's going to the clouds, right? And it's nothing but just a one little, like it's like this big, right? And across it, I just breathe, and I exhale, fill my belly up, and then I exhale, and I kept doing my breath work, in and out while I was going, and I didn't get anxiety. I did not. I was so proud of myself.
And where's this exit at? Because, like you said, bridges and tunnels. Bridges and tunnels over here. When people are in the car with me, I'll turn the music off and I tell people, everybody be quiet till we get over. Don't you? I say a word. Don't
I got
say
to talk to the bridges next. I'm working on that breath work for the bridges. I can do tunnels. Tunnels, no challenge.
Oh yeah,
okay.
You'll be just fine. I mean, I'm good with bridges, so I'm.
I'll get there one day. This part, when we go through the awakening, when people they want to do better, when you know better, you do better. So when they understand that there's a need to do better, but they get stuck on this word, which is forgiveness. Is it best to forgive yourself first or forgive other people? Do you have to forgive yourself first before you can forgive someone else? How does that work?
Yes. So I belong to the church called the Institute of Spiritual Development. It's a church of mediums and healers and light workers and star seeds. So I learned about the Ho'oponopono. It's an old ancient Hawaiian mantra that Dr. Hugh Lin shared with modern day society. And they were a little upset with him because he shared this mantra with the rest of the world, but it helped heal us. And he used this mantra to heal 11 criminally insane patients, and he never saw them. He just looked at their file chanting this mantra. And it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And they have like an 8-hour one on YouTube. We're going to do one too. They have, you can play it at night when you're sleeping. So when I first started telling my clients about it years ago, like, well, why am I saying I'm sorry? You're saying you're sorry for you're experiencing that lower vibration. You're saying sorry to yourself because the energy you put out is the energy you get back. Whatever's going on, like if you get an argument with somebody, something else can happen when somebody cuts you off. Energy. Like energy attracts like energy. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You're not doing it so much for them. You're doing it for you, but it's also healing them because we're all one for real. We're all part of the same consciousness. But depending on the energy you're currently experiencing is what you're going to see outside of you. So you and I could be walking down the same street. I could be walking down one side of the street and all I could be talking about is the trash that's on the street. And you could be saying how beautiful the day is and how beautiful the houses are. Well, we're in the same street. We're just across the street from each other or walking on the same side of the street. So what you focus on. So forgiveness goes a long way. You're doing it for yourself. And then whatever they got to deal with, they got to deal with it. You may hear about it, may not go well for them, but that's on them. That's not your train ride. That's not your timeline.
So I have a more personal connection when it comes to forgiveness. Um, I'm not going to go in depth with any of the stories because it involves my family, and I've had situations where family members have say wronged one another, and they carried emotional baggage for years and years and years and bitterness, and without until they ultimately decided to to learn like the power of just outright forgiveness, as Dawn said, being able to forgive your when you're saying I forgive you for this, for what you did X amount of years ago. Again, you're doing it for yourself and you're doing it for the person, because you have no idea. Doing it for yourself is one thing, but when that other person hears it, and all that baggage or that whatever you had is like literally let go, that is the greatest feeling in the world. And my background, forgiveness, again, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast, I grew up in the Baptist church, and I've learned through that, what forgiveness is. But when you listen to it as a kid, I mean, you kind of get it, but you don't fully get it until you really see the full power of it. When you see somebody that's wronged someone, and then and then ultimately, when they ultimately forgive and let all of that go, and you're releasing all of that, whatever negative energy, and that's or whatever what was festering all that time. Those three words, I forgive you. I mean, that is just one of the most that's really one of the most uplifting things that you can do for anyone. I mean, you a lot of good deeds and things of that nature, but forgiveness is incredibly powerful. It takes a lot of courage, and it takes the rewards are just are just are almost, or it's pretty much uncanny, So that's so yeah. To answer your question, yes. Also, anytime you forgive, you're, even though you may not think it at the time, but you're always subconsciously forgiving yourself for, and then applying that energy and that power, and applying that energy to others as you're doing that.
And you gotta learn how to say I apologize. There are people like that's another form of releasing and restoration. I apologize. You may not agree, and may not think that you're wrong, but it takes two to argue.
You better say I apologize like Anita Baker and keep it moving.
And keep it moving.
Oh no, you say it deep enough. She you gotta say it like a little bit deeper, like an Anita Baker voice.
I had to throw a record in there. I can't get out of here without some music.
I mean, okay, we gotta work on
that. When it comes to forgiveness, would you say that it takes time? And the reason why I ask that is because I used to say that I forgive people, but then whenever I thought about them, wherever I thought about the hurt that they did, what I thought they were doing to me, they didn't do nothing to me. I did it to myself. But I would get this feeling inside of me where I just wanted to go in. I can't even describe it, but I'm just thankful that it's not even there anymore. Like when I think of someone's name, or someone talks about, do you remember the ex? Do you remember this? It would be this feeling that would just take over my whole body and make me just want to go in. But I would always say, oh, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. But that feeling was still there. But today, I just know that it's completely done, because I don't feel nothing, no way. It's just done. It's
right.
done.
Yeah, because the thing is that like if they say like forgiveness takes time, but like really, like how much time? Because obviously, if you let that sit, and because the last thing, one, you don't want it to be too late or so, and then say God forbid, or whatever, or something happens where you don't get a chance to do that,
right?
And then also you want to make sure that like, look, this is on me and stuff. And then I get when people like say that sometimes, is I was like, all right, this messed up thing happened to me and stuff like that. I need to kind of process this before I can even think about, going on, forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that, like sometimes when you do that, it's almost like you're kind of, it's almost like a procrastination thing. It's like, you're processing and processing, and then all this time is passing by. And then and it's not easy. I mean, especially depending on what someone does to you, but you have to, it's better. My opinion is better to do that sooner than later. Just so you can get that release and just kind of be able to just go forward, because that's kind of how I am. Like if somebody wrongs me or any way, shape, or form, at this point in my life, I'm better off to say, you know what, I just want to just squash this. I forgive you. I'm gonna go move forward and do my thing.
But you know what? As a healer, and what I learned in my first Reiki, when I first took Reiki 1 and got my Reiki 1 certification, my Reiki master told me to get this book. It's called Heal Your Body by Louise Hayes. And she actually has an app. And I looked up cancer. Do you know cancer is related to anger?
Yeah. That's why I don't get angry.
No, real. You're sitting there mad and all upset and angry all the whole time, you're gonna wind up getting cancer because you're mad at that person. It just eats you up inside. Every illness is connected to an emotion.
What do they say? What is it? When you are dis-ease, it equals disease.
Disease.
Absolutely not. Like
I say, yeah.
I will get up and move out of a situation. They be like, "Where did Laren go?" Oh, I left a long time ago, because I used to do that before, and I used to go back and forth with y'all, but I'm not doing that today. I'll be up and going and out of here. Soon as anything reminds me of anything that I've been through in the past, I'm out.
I don't do that back and forth. I don't argue with my children. I don't do that back and forth. I will ghost you. I will block you. I just want to talk to you for my own inner peace until I'm able to know that you are ready. And that's when I do my breath work or my affirmations and focus on me. Focus on loving me. I cannot live and be a victim. Be a victor. If you're going to always be a victim, he did this, she did that, I'm this, that, they did me wrong, they did this to me, that to me. The hell with that, because you keep focusing on that energy and you're going to keep attracting it, and then somebody else is going to do the same thing to you, and so on and so on and so on. Just say, you know what, I just don't agree with them. I'm going to keep it moving. But in the meantime, I'm sitting over here how to make this right here manifest.
I like that. I think that's the biggest obstacle right there, is when we can realize that these people didn't do anything to us. If anything, they're teaching us what we should put up with and what we shouldn't put up with, what we want in our lives, what we don't. And I always tell my daughters, my two daughters, this, because remember, more's caught than more's taught. So, we just woke up a couple days ago, so I still got to play catch up with them. But it's like, you've already lost the game. You've already lost the game the minute that you go back and forth, round and round, arguing or debating with somebody about something that is outside of you. It don't have nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with them. And now that you know that it has everything to do with them, why would you go back and forth, round and round, arguing about something that has nothing to do with you?
That part.
I used to do it so much, but when you know better, you do better.
And we're all still learning. Like, we sometimes are so hard on ourselves because we're taught discipline from our parents to, suck it out, don't do this, shake it off or whatever like that. And they're like, well, they sound so cruel when they say that to you, but just, you can honor your feelings and honor your pain, but don't live there anymore. You don't have to live there anymore. You don't have to live anymore.
I like that.
You don't. You really don't.
Honor your feelings, honor your pain.
Enough pain in my life to last me 10 consecutive lives, and I'm still here. I'm a phoenix. You know what has happened over me the past few years. I lost my husband, everything, and that rocked my whole world. But I know he wanted me to continue to live until it's my time to transition. In the meantime, my mission is to heal and help as many people heal that are willing to learn and want to heal and help them manifest, because I love seeing other people happy that are doing good for other people. I love that. I'm an empath, so I feel that energy. You know, I'm intuitive and I'm psychic, so I do, you know, this is what I do full time. And I love what I do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be a little overwhelming. You know, I took a call last night from a client, and I don't even be on that late after 10 o'clock. I'm usually off by a certain time, but she needed me. And she texted me this morning, and I had never seen this woman in person before. Called me from Florida, older lady. And she texted me this morning. She said, "Thank you so much for connecting with me last night, because I really needed you." And it made me feel good. And I was tired. I really didn't want to talk to nobody, but Spirit says, this is what you love doing. And I wasn't going to be a victim to it. I just refuse to be a victim and say, I'm tired out what I do. No, this shows that I'm being victorious. I'm a victor in what I do, and I love what I do. And it made me happy that I was able to help someone else and help them learn how to forgive, because she was pretty pissed off with somebody.
Any last comments before we move to the next? And Marcus,
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I just want to pause, because sometimes I get too excited and I just don't want to make sure I don't skip over everything. You know, we're taking our time, but I am really enjoying the energy in here.
Yes, me too.
Yeah,
I love coming on your
here.
show.
That goes both ways.
I love connecting with you, Laura. So I was so excited.
Yes. Okay, so now for people out there learning about the restoration process, you know, all of us don't arrive at the same time. So for people out there who feel like they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, what advice do you have for them? They're in it, they might be struggling with their own inner thoughts.
I would say do your best effort, and always stay the course. Because the thing is that if you're trying to get to a particular goal, life is gonna life. I mean, always. So it's gonna, you know, you're going down this path, you know, and you want to reach a particular thing, and something's gonna come at you this way. But being able to have, like, to keep your mind as focused as possible, and then always be ready to just and it may be easy for some and it may not be easy for others, but you have to always be able to adapt. And I think, you know, I would use the game of soccer as an example. Now, soccer, you know, a lot of times when you see the players go up the field, go towards the goal, they don't always, like, a lot of times they don't always go straight to the goal immediately or so, but sometimes they proceed forward, and then sometimes they have to kick the ball backwards, and, you know, and then kick the ball to the side to their other teammates, and then volley, and you know, lob the ball and do all of that, and then ultimately to reach that goal. But the thing is that, in my opinion, life is kind of the same way. Like, sometimes, like, you know, when you're going down a particular path, you might have to pivot and go lateral. Sometimes you may have to go backwards. But at the end of the day, like, as long as you keep that in the center of your mind, like, look, I'm going to reach this goal. I mean, you know, I don't care what life throws at me. I'm ultimately going forward. And that's pretty much my main thing. My main advice in that is just always do your best effort and just simply stay the course.
And then also, too, you know, you can do some grounding. You can ground. You can walk barefoot on the ground. Hug a tree. If it's too cold, you can go hug a tree. Clap your hands. Clap your hands is grounding. I demand.
Oh, I didn't know
God,
that.
universe, I demand that you bring me to my best Carolina better. I demand that you raise my vibrations that totally resonates with me with total ease. I command and I demand to bring me up out of this turmoil. Raise my vibrations. Show me how amazing I am. Show me how phenomenal you are to show me how amazing I am. Like, talk to yourself. Get in the mirror. Like, talk to yourself. Give yourself a pep talk and say, I can do this. And when you do it, don't just talk and like, no, get in there. Get in there. Listen, you understand what I'm saying? Like, Energy,
Yeah,
energy,
yeah.
energy, energy. Everything is energy. But if you whisper,
I didn't know about
whispering
that.
answers back. But you gotta put that energy and say, I'm not gonna let this defeat me. I'm bigger than this. I'm better than this. I command and demand that I'm on my best timeline and better on every timelines, dimensions, parallel universes, spiritual realms. Show me how phenomenal I am. Raise me up. Show me, bring me up out of this. Show me the wonderful, amazing opportunities in this situation. Show me why you're bringing this to me. Why? Show me. It will. It will.
Show me why you were
Yeah.
bringing this to me.
Show
Wow.
me, because it's a reason
Wow.
for everything.
I know that's right. Oof, that was a lot right there. I needed that one right there.
And also, too,
Wow.
I have a connection with birds. So if a message is like, if there's something going on, like birds, animals, they're spiritual too. Birds, animals, insects, spiders, stink bugs, they're all, if you see an animal or insect or something, look it up. Google it, chat GBT. Why is this bug on my window? Why is this bird chirping right now? What is the message?
Okay, I got a question. Okay, so I flucked a little stink bug because it was on the screen, and I was like, "Bink" today. So now, what does the stink bug mean? Do you know, or I gotta look that
Stagnation
up?
and fear.
Oh no.
Stagnation and fear. But no, it's for you to stop and
Okay.
stop and think, what around me is not balanced? What are you? Why did you pluck it? Was you fearful of it? Would you thought it was gonna stink?
I don't want no
What's something
bugs. I
stinking
was just
around
like,
that you need to get rid
get out. I was like, get out of here.
of? Right.
Oh, maybe it's a person, huh? Could
So
be.
it's always a
Could be.
message. Everything
Point
around
taken.
you
I
is
got you.
always a message. Everything around you is always a message, but always try to look at it as a positive to raise up. It may not be a message it may be a message you don't like, but fix it. Make it an opportunity.
I know.
Fix it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay, so we talked about distractions. What advice do we have to navigate through some of these distractions? Because this is just my personal. I'm putting it out there. 2025 has been like straight to the top, right? But with that, comes all kind. You said life is gonna life, right?
Always.
I'm like, wow, all of these things showing up, all of these distractions, all of these things like trying to take me off of my game, but I know better. But it still doesn't mean that these distractions aren't gonna show up,
Discipline.
right?
Yeah.
Discipline. I don't answer my phone the first time I wake up. I don't care who's calling. If someone calls me and I'm doing my meditation, I'll have so many people that would call me when I'm doing my affirmations. I just used to just sometimes I still do. I put my phone on do not disturb. A distraction just happened just now. A client just hit me up on my app just now, sending me a message for me to go over there and look at it. Just now. I don't know if you heard the bell. I'm not. They hit it again.
Now, how about this? Okay, so cell phones, tablets, those things, we can sort of work around that. What about when it's family members, it's co-workers, it's places where you can't easily navigate and you sort of got to kind of like get along or be there just to...
Give me a moment.
How do we deal with that?
Give me a moment. Not now.
Well, I can kind of sum all of that up really into one thing, and this is something I've learned back when I was an undergrad. I had this conversation with this gentleman who was a professor, and he told me to, he asked me to look up, and then I asked him, I mean, what am I seeing? He said that what you're seeing, you might not think you're seeing anything, but know this. All always view that, as trouble, because ultimately it's coming in some shape or form. And I thought that was kind of deep, because even though I was looking up, I was literally kind of looking at the sky. But to his point, it's like anything, like even though you're seeing, like like say you're looking at the sky, you're looking at something that's relatively infinite, you're in a position where where trouble can come at you from any type of angle. It could be family members, it could be co-workers, it could be all these different types of things. But if you recognize that, because a lot of times, a lot of people think that they could be able to go through something and not expect anything to knock them off their path. And sometimes I tell people this too. Sometimes it's better to prepare to lose than to prepare to win. And that may sound like, like it may sound like the total opposite, but when you think about it this way, when you prepare to lose, like you're going through and going to your goal, knowing that, all right, I'm looking, there are going to be distractions. There are going to be things that are going to take me off my path and take me off my game. But the thing about having that mindset is that when you ultimately get to your goal, in spite of all of the distractions, or so, you are going to, that is the sweetest feeling in the world and stuff like that. When you when you put that mindset in your head that, like, look, I mean, this is going to come. And as Dawn said before, moments ago, just having the discipline to say that, hey, you know what, I'm not going to let this person or this situation come in and defeat me. I'm more powerful than that. I mean, I'm able to, every single person on this earth is powerful. I mean, they're born with gifts, abilities, and the ability of free will, and with and the strength to be able to say that, hey, you know what, you're a distraction. I'm literally gonna, like, look, I'm not gonna, say anything to your mind. I mean, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just gonna continue to push myself forward. So, excuse me, but that's how I view it. I think if anybody goes through and realizes that those distractions are going to always come at you, they're going to always come at you. Then
don't look for them.
I'm not saying look. I'm not saying look for them. No, I'm not saying don't look for trouble. Right. Remember, I said trouble is coming. Trouble.
It'll look for you.
No. Hear me out. Trouble is you definitely don't need to look for it. It's going to come to you in some shape or form.
I'm not claiming that.
Yeah, no, I mean, but
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just.
Yeah, you're gonna have people that's come at you to try to bring you some stuff, but I'm gonna tell you something. This last year, I could have said a whole lot.
Can I just say that I named this whole podcast series Restoration for a reason, because I knew that I was cleaning some things up. I had intentions, and I know what I set out to do. But the minute that I did that, this year has been absolutely amazing when it comes to the amount of freaking distractions that I have come across, and how many times I could have just stopped or turned around, and I just be like, why does this keep happening? Why?
Don't give up. Don't give up. There's actually and I gotta post it on my IG. I'm gonna post it tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm gonna post it. There's these words that you say they're for the 7 chakras to balance your energy. And you repeat these words 3 times each, and will balance you and calm you down if you don't have time to do the breath work. And it takes all about a minute to say these words for the 7 chakras to balance you, because everything is energy. But it'll calm, these words will calm your mind and bring you, or say a prayer to God or whatever. But you can't live in fear, because fear attracts more fear. Remember how they said when a dog bites you, when you're fearful of a dog, how a dog will bite you? Negative energy brings negative energy. The dog like, what the hell are you scared of? Something's going on, let me bite you, because I'll give you that energy to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me tell you, I learned my lesson about dogs. I real quick, and then we're gonna move on off of this. I was walking because I love to walk. And I know that this neighbor always has their dog loose. Do you know that that dog got this close to
Mm-hmm.
me? But I said in my mind, absolutely not. I'm not going to turn
Mm-hmm.
around. I ain't going to show you that I'm
Right.
afraid. That dog got this close and bark, bark, bark. And I felt like the hairs on my body
Mm-hmm.
stood up to let him know that I'm not playing this game. That dog turned around and
See?
walked in another direction. And there were times where I would walk past the same person's house and their dogs would get
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And at first it would like jolt me a little bit, but then I trained myself, we're gonna
Yeah.
walk through this, and I
It's a
guarantee that that
test.
dog ain't gonna do
It's a-
nothing. And I walk past that thing and the dog would just stop
Mhm.
and look at me. And I would just be like, man, Laren, you a
Yeah,
bad
the
boy.
dog, if he ain't British, he must be crazy. So let
Right.
Hey, don't,
I learned it with them dogs.
no,
I
I
don't
used to be
fear
the same
them.
way with dogs coming up as a kid or so. Then someone told me that, like, look, someone told me, like, hey, you know, dogs is in fear, right? I'm like, oh, really? So you just gotta, I mean, like, kind of like the situation that you were in. I
Mhm.
literally just had to like walk past them, and then then now, I mean, yeah, I
And
mean,
they see
I
five
totally get that.
dimensions further than we do.
Exactly.
Dogs do.
Mm, mm.
Animals do.
Wow. We got some breakthrough moments here. I'm
Shay.
telling you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to move into what I like to call burning questions. So I like to. I used to like to throw my guests off a little bit, but I'm better than that today. I'll put it that way. So questions are a little bit more at ease and are not crazy like they used to be in the beginning. But if you like to chime in on tonight's burning question, please feel free. You can text me at 609-200-1098. That is the official 411 podcast Reading Between the Wines hotline. Again, that number is 609-200-1098. Chime in, let us know how you feel about tonight's show. Let us know how you feel about our guest tonight. And you may also chime on the burning questions as well. So, burning questions for tonight: can you still tithe or give when you're deep in debt, or is it wiser to hold back until you're more stable? I'll read that again and then you two can take it away. Can you still tithe or give when you're deep in debt, or is it wiser to hold back until you're more financially stable? Burning questions.
I'm gonna let you answer that first.
I'll answer.
Yes.
So I would say the latter. I mean, and the reason I say that is because if whether you're deep in debt or even if you're like in poverty or whatever your financial situation is, if it's not positive or where you want it to be, I think it's wiser. Like for one thing, you're not forgetting what your obligation is, to tithe or any of that. I mean, to me, you're doing what you can, like for your situation, until you are in a better position to be able to tithe. And so I've actually seen this happen with people before, where people like, what, I'm a member of this church, or I can't I don't have the money right now to be able to to give my like my 10% or anything like that. But what I am going to do, I'm in the process, I'm working things out to where I could be able to do something maybe in the future. But for right now, I have like mouths to feed, I have like to keep, I have a house to keep in order, or whatever the situation may be. But I'm definitely leaning towards the latter part of that question. Like, be wiser just to be able to hold off until you're financially stable to be able to do so again.
Okay. I agree. I agree with my. I You can't get if you don't. You can't get. You can't take. You can't receive if you don't give.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can't always
I
have your
believe
hand
that.
like this and expect to receive.
I believe that.
So if you may not be able to give your
Absolutely.
normal tithes, if you're going to give it, you give a little something. It don't have to be the norm. You just a little something, because it'll come back to you. But also you can say, God, for every dollar or every penny or coin that I spend, may it come back to me 100 times fold.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving this from my heart. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be able to give. I know I'm always going to receive. Because you live in that poverty mind stricken way, you're going to continue to attract more poverty.
I would say that you most certainly can give. And when it comes to tithing or when it comes to giving, a lot of times we think that it's all the financial
You
aspect,
know,
but
yeah.
your time,
Mm-hmm.
giving words of encouragement, you can give somebody a ride, you can do any type of chore or errand to help somebody. I think that that is a way that people can give as well. And then also, one thing that I had to learn was, if you don't have the money in your pocket, your pocketbook, whatever you want to call it, purse, whatever, sometimes you have it within your four
That
walls.
part.
I have adopted the minimalist lifestyle, and when didn't have it in my bank account, I had it within my four walls, and I was
Mm-hmm.
amazed at how much of the hoarding I was doing
Oh,
based on the
yeah.
different attachments that I had in my past life. And it was a gold mine once I started giving things away and I started selling stuff and donating
Because it has
stuff.
to be replaced.
Yeah.
When you release restoration, when you give away, it comes back.
Mhm.
You know, when I sold my home and I wanted all new furniture, and I got and a lot of it I gave away. What I didn't sell, a lot of it I gave away, and a lot of things that I had I gave away, and then I received just that the same thing, just as good or better. But holding on to it, like some people are scared to release and let go, and they have things. Well, one day I'll be able to fit that outfit, or one day I'll be able to do this, or one day. What about now? The current. Focus on the now,
Yeah,
the present,
yeah, yeah.
the gift. The present is a gift.
I'm gonna definitely keep that in the forefront. The present, it's a gift. Yeah, I like that. All right. Any last closing words before we get into our? We got a couple comments out here from SOS. Any last words of encouragement? Anything you want to leave us with before we get out of here
You got
tonight?
the power.
Yeah.
You got the
Like,
power. You
like
are the bus driver driving your bus. Sometimes you can let passengers
you.
on, or sometimes you can drive past the bus stop. Just make sure when you pick up that passenger that they're not going to be a distraction to your driving.
I'll hold up on what you said. Sometimes you pick up the passengers. Sometimes you
The
drive
bus stop is
past.
not to let them
How,
on.
and then how
Because you don't
about you
need them
let?
yapping in your ear, distracting you while you're trying to drive and pay attention to the road. Because you got a destination, you got a journey, you got a trip. You chose to come here. It's up to you to live that.
What about letting them off
Oh yeah, you
too?
can come get
Sometimes
the
you
F
gotta
off
let
my
some
bus.
people
You might even have to
you
go
said
back in the back of the bus and pull them off sometimes. You got to go. You're not on this timeline.
so. You said you got the power. So y'all remember that song by Snap, The
Mm-hmm.
Power, right?
I got the power.
There you go.
There's so
There
many
you go.
songs
There
people
you
don't
go.
realize it. It's the old songs. They were conscious songs, funkadelics. Like there was so many. What was some of the other groups? There was so many. Look, there my dish. Look, there go my sequential hour going off right now. What time is it? 9:36.
Yeah.
Make a wish, everybody. We're gonna send y'all Reiki healing love. Make a wish. This is Nikola Tesla's number. Make a wish for what you want to happen for the month of October. We're sending you Reiki healing love with total ease and no harm to none. Ashe, ashe, ashe. I'm gonna turn off my alarm so it doesn't disturb you guys. But this is a good distraction.
Okay, Marcus, what do you have for us as
As I
we
mentioned earlier, simply stay the course. You'll get to your goal eventually.
Mm-hmm. Stay
stay the
focused.
course?
Don't be distracted.
Miss Burning Sky says, I totally do not watch the
I know
news. I
that's
remember we
right,
spoke
Queen.
about the news.
Yes. Yes. Smart,
Yeah.
smart Queen.
I do not watch the news. I do not sign up for it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want no parts of that.
Yep.
You'll find out eventually. Somebody will tell you something. Esther Hicks. We were talking about Esther Hicks.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I wear a necklace with a tiny jar attached that has positive words
Awesome.
inside that I
Ooh.
cut out of
Awesome. I love that.
magazines.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that.
That's excellent.
Because it's right here
Yeah.
near the heart chakra. Yes, yes. And close to the throat chakra.
I write stuff on my mirror, and I also have stuff in my car while I'm driving to remind me of what my goals are and what I'm focusing on. So when I get up in the morning, I know, Dawn, you said in the morning, you know, I got to give a shout out to my girl. Only song I could think of is Good Morning Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
So when you get up, you know how you look. I ain't talking about no hair, no makeup or nothing. We just in the mirror.
Yeah.
So while I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm looking at, you know, my goals. And then when I get in the car, it repeats itself. And then again, as I get ready to, you know, take it down at night, I can visualize and see it from the car to the house. So
play your favorite song. Play feel good songs. I don't play no sad song. If it's a song that's about somebody mad at somebody or hating on somebody, or I don't play them songs. I play loving, happy songs, or I play a mantra. Because
I know what you mean.
I play
because
loving songs, nurturing songs, and they got some good loving R&B songs out there to make you feel really good. It got a nice beat to it too.
I love Londrell. You ever heard of the artist Londrell?
Oh yes, Londrell.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, I played Londrell in one of my videos, on one of my social media videos. I had him on one of my posts that I made. I love Londrell.
I listen to music differently because in the beginning, when I was unhealthy, I didn't know. When I had an unhealthy mindset, I didn't know. But now when I listen to stuff, you got to be careful with the stuff you listen to, the people you're around. Sometimes I'll hear an artist say something crazy and I'll be like talking to the song like, yeah, that's deep, bro, because that ain't me. I ain't taking that on, and I'll turn the song off immediately or change it because I'm not taking that energy on.
Because they put songs on the radio on a 440 hertz. We're supposed to listen to a 432 or a 523. There's different hertz. Look it up, guys.
523.
Yeah, 523.
Yeah.
So they have different hertz that we're supposed to listen to that's in vibration that resonates with us. But
then they get the artists, and it's a whole scam sometimes to create these records to keep us in lower vibrational frequencies.
And with each other.
You know, it's a whole vicious cycle. I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's definitely what's going on, or what's been going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I ain't singing this song. I ain't going through that. That's you. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
I love Jasmine Sky, but what she said, she knocked out his windows and flattened his tires. I was like, what?
Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine, I said, what I say?
Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan. I broke out your windows and flattened
bust the windows.
Now on some serious stuff, you know who my favorite artist is now. You know what she's known for. Like, I was stuck in a state for a minute.
Yeah.
You know.
But she was speaking her pain. She was singing her pain too.
But again, and me being young, not knowing, and you know, I'm like the #1 fan out there. I'm singing that stuff and manifesting that stuff into my life too. Like, I'm like, oh, you gotta do something about this. She got a song called Baggage. I came across it a couple weeks ago, and I said, oh, let me turn this. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I love you, Mary, but listen, I can't rock with you with that joint today. I don't got no baggage.
I had a song
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
It used to be my favorite song. I think it was Patti LaBelle and what was that other artist? I can't remember his name. Anyway, the song On My Own.
Michael McDonald.
Oh
yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
But it was a horrible song.
Yeah.
And you know, I wound up getting divorced shortly after that song. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what you say out your mouth and what you're singing and what you vibing to, because it's not always good to you just because it has a good beat. You change the words and how you sing it or something so that it's positive.
Yeah.
Do a twist on it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we did it. I want to say thank you all so much for coming in. This has been amazing. Thank you for kicking off part 2 of restoration. This has been an amazing.
Definitely would love to come back. We also make sure, guys. So I want you to bring us back because it was something I forgot to tell you before we go off. We had started this program, this AO scan, and the AO scan is sound frequency healing. And we're going to be doing a video on it. And this AO scan, it comes with Cephi dots. So you can infuse dots that you wear on your body for 3 days with the frequency that you want to manifest or heal. So it can heal anywhere from allergies to eye problems, eye disorders, anxiety, depression, raise your vibrations to wealth and prosperity, weight control, just so many, like, it's off the Richter scale. So guys, make sure that you inbox us or follow us at Ascender, ASCENDERE-LLC.com. We're going to be advertising it on our website as well as doing a video about it. And I've had the AO scan for like almost 5 years, and I've manifested so much with the AO scan, and it does a full report what you're allergic to. It balances your chakras. It does a lymphatic, hair, scale, nails, organs, bones report. You get like a 40 to 50 page report that we email to you. It's absolutely off the Richter scale, and you can heal yourself with. And then you can even take the report to the doctor. And my mentor is actually a nurse practitioner who introduced it to me. And I remember when I was having a problem with selling a house, and my husband, he was like, we were concerned about the house being sold. And I listened to the wealth prosperity's frequency, and the house sold exactly for the price that we wanted within a week.
Wow.
Yes. So definitely check out that program on our website. But we'll be doing a video on YouTube soon, and I'll make sure I tag you when I put it on my social media.
And if you can type in before the show ends, if I think you have the ability to type in the chat, type your website in there so that we can display that across the screen. And then lastly, before we get out of here, Queen Dawn Spirit. Now, when I was like 7 years old, anywhere between 5 and 7, when I first moved into my childhood home, I used to always get this scent, and I didn't know what it was. I was walking around the house, and it was just always this distinctive scent that only I could describe, and nobody else knew what I was talking about. And it came back to me when I got the money scent oil that you sell from Queen Dawn Spirit. Is that still in stock?
No, now you're gonna make me make some more oils.
When I smelled that, it took me back to a child, and it's so mystical because
I can make oils because all my oils, everything that I make and products that we sell is infused with Reiki. So if you're requesting that I'll make some more prosperity oil, I can.
That's what it was called, prosperity, and it made sense because look, what I'm doing now as a financial coach, that maybe I was smelling that as a 5-year-old, and I just couldn't understand it. All gone.
It's gone.
All gone. Especially that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Thank you for kicking off this week with me. Thank you for being a part of Spiritual Sunday. This has truly been a great event, and I could not do it without both of y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sending you Reiki healing love, and sending your audience and everyone. We're sending them Reiki healing love to every aspect of their life, helping them manifest everything with total ease, and sending Reiki healing love to your bank accounts, to your health, to your mind, body, and soul, to your family, to your jobs, to your vehicles, every aspect. We're sending Reiki healing love all over the world to anything that's imbalanced in their life with total ease, no harm to none. Ashe.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you.
Have a good night.
All right, take care. Have a good night.
Love you too. Take care now. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Queen Dawn Spirit and Marcus helping kick off day 1 of Restoration Live Part 2. Also, if they're still out there, Marcus, Queen Dawn Spirit, if you're still out there, put it in the chat again. I believe that you have it in our private chat. if you can put it in the normal chat, we can go ahead and get your website across the screen before we go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for joining in. If you like anything that you've heard tonight, please feel free to head on over to LarrenGaines.com. You can sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. I focus on debt-free living from the realms of spiritual, mental, physical, and financial. Also, please use Queen Dawn Spirit, Marcus at Ascender for resources as well. There was a lot of breakthrough moments tonight, a lot of things to help people get through their restoration moments as well. And we're just getting started. We have a great week ahead of us. We have Neil Jones Jr. coming in tomorrow as well for Mental Mondays. We're going to focus on the mental realm when it comes to debt-free living, focusing on the mind. We touch base on a lot of that tonight on Spiritual Sunday as well. Again, I believe that a lot of these are interconnected. I have my own personal beliefs as far as, oh, okay, I see it. I see it. All right. I will see if I can try to copy and paste that, which I think I can. I think we are in business here. I believe that a lot of these are all interconnected. So let me just try this here. I believe we got it there. I believe that they're all interconnected. So for me, I'm just, giving you my own, personal journey. I went through the spiritual aspect as first, getting myself together, understanding and knowing who I am and what my purpose is. That's the first aspect of it. From there, I had to focus on and heal when it comes to the mental aspect of it. The way that I thought about money, the way I felt about money was still an issue. So once I got the spiritual together, it just helps make the mental aspect of it a little bit easier. And then from that, once I learned, you know, the value of money, how to operate with money, how to respect money, how to treat money, it's almost like being in a relationship. So I had to improve my relationship with money. Then I started to show up in the physical a heck of a lot better than what I was before. So we went from spiritual, mental, physical. And then after that part, once we get those three things under control, then it's about building wealth and you'll show up a little bit more financially. So spiritual, mental, physical, financial, I focus on debt-free living, and we have to go on a journey in order to get to the other side. So again, this is not a 1, 2, 3 thing, and this also is not for everyone. I've learned that as well. You got to sort of see it before you see it. So if you don't see it before you see it, no one else is going to be able to see it for you. So you have to want to do the work yourself. So for more information on that, please feel free, head on over to LarrenGaines.com. You may also text me as well, 609-200-1098. That is the official 411 podcast Reading Between Wines hotline. You can drop me a line there. You may also call me and leave me a message as well. So on that note, I want to say thank you all so much for joining in. Check me out tomorrow. Same place, same time. We have special guest Neil Jones Jr. coming in from United Advertising, and we're going to kick off the mental aspect of it tomorrow. We have Wednesday, Wind Down Wednesday. We have coaching sessions Thursday, and we have Financial Friday. And I forgot one as well, Transformational Tuesday. We have Melbourne coming in for Transformational Tuesday. So on that note, have a good night. Thank you all so much. And I will see you when I see you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, where growth is always on the menu, and every pour reveals a little more truth. The conversation doesn't end here. Have something to say? Want to weigh in on tonight's burning questions? Text us anytime at the official 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines hotline at 609-200-1098. Stay plugged in across all social media platforms at Laryngaines. We're live and in the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and Dailymotion. Prefer to listen on the go? The audio version is streaming on most major podcast outlets. Until we meet again, take what you've learned, sip slow, speak truth, and remember, transformation starts within. powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network.